The Legacy Fighting Alliance crowned its biggest champion to date at LFA 15 from Shawnee, Oklahoma. Hey everyone, I'm Ron Kruk, joined by the UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. And Pat, tonight we crowned our first LFA heavyweight champion. But before we get to that, we had some key matchups in several different weight classes. And we begin with a 195-pound catch weight between Chibi and Steven Scotch.
Steven Scotch came out hard early on in this fight, throwing all kinds of bombs at Chibi. Chibi weathering that storm and eventually figuring out his timing and distance and sticking Scotch with some really nasty shots here. And these knees finally finishing the job as Anthony Macias steps in to stop it.
Getcha remains unbeaten and improves to 6-0. In the lightweight division, Derek Atkins and the Hitman, Dan Moret, went at it, and what a fight this was.
You know, Atkins, for this fight, for some reason, I'm not quite sure, some of the elbows he's taken there possibly to the back of the head might have had a contributing factor in this. They also clashed heads several times, but this, no doubt, is the best Dan Moret has ever looked. And last second, getting this arm triangle and getting the finish on a very tough Atkins.
Literally 1 second left in the fight. Dan Moret gets the win and goes to 12-3. Moving to the welterweight division, where Braden Smith and Manny Miraz threw down, and Smith was in trouble early.
Oh, Miraz comes out early over the top of this jab and crushes Smith with that right hand. It looked like it was near the end, and Smith getting out of this triangle and then the armbar attempt and getting position and then landing his own choke, locking up Miraz. Miraz eventually, no choice but to tap or go to sleep. Smith, great comeback.
Smith said he woke up and then got the victory. He could crack the Access TV top 5 rankings. And then finally, the big man, the LFA inaugural heavyweight title on line, Richard Odoms and Jared Bandera. What a fight this one was, back and forth.
Yeah, the big men were pacing themselves for a 5-round fight. I mean, they weren't exploding nonstop punches, things like that, but heavy shots nonetheless. Odoms landing the heavier shots throughout the fight. There's just some of it there for you. Bandera showing he had a great chin, and watch this finish. Odoms throws the arm over, goes for the key lock from a standing position, and absolutely destroys Bandera's shoulder.
So nasty. Richard Odoms becomes the first ever LFA heavyweight champion. Congratulations to the 42-year-old police officer. Coming up, we move over to pro wrestling tomorrow night. The New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 special live in the USA Day 1. And then next week it will be Day 2. We'll return with back-to-back LFA events. LFA 16 July 14th and LFA 17 July 21st.